What about running backs? Who are we starting this week?
Kareem Hunt, he's been great. We talked about how he's right up there in terms of the touches per game average over the last month. He's averaging right around 17 points per game. Buffalo's defense is giving up 4.7 yards per rush. They've given up the second most points per game to running backs. And enemy running backs, Lindsay, have scored 19 plus points 6 times. Yep. So this is a smash spot for Kareem Hunt in what might end up being his last start of the season. And then I'm going to go with Chase Brown. And I liked Chase Brown last week, even though the matchup was tough on Thursday against the Ravens. This week is not a good matchup either. The Chargers are really good defensively, but Chase Brown is getting a ton of touches, and he also is getting a 50% touch share in the Bengals offense since Zach Moss went out. So even though the Chargers are giving up the third fewest points to running backs, I don't care. I'm starting Chase Brown.
What about running backs that we are less enthused about?
Not enthusiastic about James Cook, and I know you probably got to play him. I mean, there's 4 teams on a bye, and he's really good. He was one of the guys I really like coming into the season. But let me just explain to you how tough the Chiefs defense is against running backs, okay?
Yeah.
Number 1, fewest points allowed. Number 2, no running back has scored more than 13.2 points against them in a game this season. You may say, well, Fabs, who have they faced? Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Rashad White, J.K. Dobbins, Jordan Mason when he was rolling. James Cook is not on the same level as Bijan or Derrick Henry or Alvin Kamara. So when you come at me and say, well, I can't sick James Cook, I understand. Maybe this is more for you guys in, DFS where you avoid him based on his high price tag. But if you start him, temper your expectations because the ceiling is not good. And the same issue goes with Tony Pollard, who I didn't like last week against the Chargers. He did not have a great game. He's not 100%. He's dealing with a foot injury. He only played 29 snaps last week. Now he's got the Vikings. 4th fewest points per game allowed to running backs this year. I think we could see a little bit more Tajay Spears as well, which is what the scenario was last week for Pollard. Again, 4 teams off. I know you probably got to play them.